What's up, guys? Chad here with the Reptile Rangers and at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo and Medical Center. Check this out. We're going to show you unboxing some superworms. Now, as a lot of you guys probably know, we breed our own hissing roaches, we breed our own dubias, but superworms, absolutely not. I don't have the time nor the patience for superworms. It's a long, drawn-out process. It takes a long time, and it's about a 3-stage process. For those willing to brave the breeding process of the superworms, more power to you. And I'm glad there's people out there that do it. It gives us the opportunity to help support some other, some other businesses. But superworms and dubia roaches, hissers is a lot of what we primarily feed to a lot of your insect-eating reptilians and arachnid. Of course, we have these 2,000 superworms here that we're just going to unbox, and we'll show you kind of how we get them set up and ready to go for not only for our customers here at the zoo and the medical center, but also same ones that we feed out to the animals here, whether for sale or whether on exhibit in the zoo. So, anyways, I'm going to take and cut these two boxes apart, and I separate the two of them. Now, as we get this opened here, there's a lot of good companies out there that's doing these things fairly cheap. Ain't nobody paying me to advertise for them, so I'm not going to say who we get these from one way or the other, because it just doesn't matter. Again, folks want any of the additional advertising, they can get in touch with us for it. But otherwise, I'm not going to promote one place or another. So we just use a standard, we call it a low critter keeper. Generally speaking, most of your superworms are going to come in packaged kind of like that, with egg crate and inside of a breathable box. And we'll just take and dump them out, the first ones. I like hanging on to the egg crate. Works great for the dubias that we produce. So we just clean these things off. Nice big fat healthy superworms. I'll leave one chunk of crate in there. Now we'll go ahead and open up the second one. I'm not just going to dump. There you go. Make sure you can see it halfway decent there. All right, now what I'll do is take one half of this, put that down on that side, that way those things have a little something to crawl out on, just like that right there. With feeding these things, look, you can feed them the cricket crystals, you can do fruits, vegetables of all sorts. Leafy greens, there's all kinds of things that you can do. They love apple chunks, strawberries, tomatoes, things like that. You can do oatmeal. Some people will keep them on an oatmeal bedding. They can eat it, and it's kind of like their bedding too. It's fine. It's no big deal. Another one is crushed up dog food. Some people will use crushed up dog food ground into a powder. It's a little bit higher in fat, so it does produce a little bit more of a fatty content. But generally speaking, we just put a little bit of fruit and vegetable in there, spread a little bit of leafy greens out, and just let them just have at it. You don't want to put too much in there, because the more you put in there, if it starts getting rotten or it starts creating a lot of fruit flies, gnats and things like that, it can start wiping your superworm population out. These guys, you don't have to keep them in the fridge. That's the great thing about them versus mealworms. And also, a lot of people talk about mealworms. Mealworms are okay, but they're nothing compared to a good sized superworm. I mean, you can see the size of this thing right here is absolutely awesome. And where it might take you 20 mealworms in comparison to 2 or 3 superworms, because the mealworms are so small. So for cost sake, superworms are a much better bet, unless it's just something like a baby gecko or something like that that you're trying to get established on something that's not as big as this. Then, of course, the mealworms do a great job for that. But once it's big enough that it can physically take it down, it needs to be on the superworms versus the meals, because then you don't have to feed them nowhere near as much, and there's a good high fatty content to it. So, but again, you don't want to keep them too warm. You don't want to keep them too cool. Just room temperature works about perfectly fine for them. And like I said, these little guys, they're not going to last us long. But I mean, as much as we have to feed out, and of course our customer base too, but as long as they're dry and maintained, again, a little bit of the cricket crystal works fine, or watery fruits work fine too. So that'll also give them their hydration and nutritional content. But anyway, this is just us unpacking some bugs for the zoo. So hope some of the information's been helpful, and as always, we appreciate you following along with us. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell for notifications. All of our information will be in the description below here for the medical side of things and for the zoological side of things. If you have questions, as a lot of people tend to on medical side, from all the treatment and stuff that we do when it comes to reptilian medical care, just feel free to get in touch with us in the information below. We'll either see you on the next episode, or we'll see you here at the zoo. Later.